So is America finally waking up, or are these protests just a tiny little blip on the already crowded radar screen? For the answer, we turn to George Heminger in Los Angeles. He is the founder of Survive and Thrive TV. George, thank you so much for being here. So, are these folks actually waking up, or is this just wishful thinking by these activists?
Well, I think we're headed to a point, especially in Los Angeles. We've been ranked the highest county for hunger because of our high real estate prices, utility prices, and now gasoline surging towards $5 a gallon. What else is going to happen? People are in need. They cannot feed their children, and they're losing their jobs. Of course, they're going to try to take to the streets. And I was shocked that so many people came out. And I really think you're just going to see more and more protests. And you could probably expect these protests to eventually become violent protests.
Well, this is something I actually brought up with our previous guest, Nomi Prince, because at the end of the day, it's nice that you get people out in the streets, but the press and the politicians don't really listen unless someone's lobbing Molotov cocktails, right? So do you see this movement turning more violent, perhaps to get more noticed by the powers that be?
Well, you saw in the Middle East, different things can happen. You can have a few million people rise up, and then the leaders are out of town. Or in some cases, they can rise up and they get shot down. So what will happen in America when Main Street really rises up and really starts demonstrating is left to be seen. I'm not sure what our government is going to be doing, but I can tell you a lot of my listeners on my channel are very concerned that the government may be preparing for some sort of martial law if that were to happen.
That's intense. Well, please keep us posted of that. But, I'm not sure that the government really knows what it's doing either. And I just want to bring up a really disturbing economic statistic that you alluded to earlier, which is, of course, it's kind of difficult to pick and choose when you're talking about these depressing economic statistics. But one thing that I saw earlier was there are hunger surging across the country. Los Angeles County, which is where you are right now, has 1.7 million people in need of food assistance. That's stunning to me. This is LA, the world of Hollywood. How does that happen in the United States of America?
Well, it's no longer Hollywood, the sheen has come off of Hollywood. You have 500,000 people in LA County alone on welfare. You have a huge amount of people on food stamps and disability, some type of welfare program for the government. That is the underpinnings of our economy right now. It's not manufacturing, it's not high tech, it's welfare and food stamps. So there's a couple things happening, but people are starting to see with the rising gas prices, and after they make their rent payments, after they make their utility payments, Johnny is asking for more food. Hey, Dad, can I have that hamburger? No, son, I don't have the money to go get you a hamburger. And that's what's happening right now is literally parents are coming to the realization that they don't have the money to buy food for their children. Just go to the grocery store. I mean, it's incredible, the price increases that we're seeing, but we supposedly don't have inflation. Well, tell that to people on a fixed income, or tell that to people that are relying on food stamps. If you get $600 a month on food stamps, what does it feel like when it's only worth $300?
Right.
So the government is understating inflation.
The government doesn't seem to pay attention to what Johnny wants. I mean, we have people going hungry on our streets right here. Meanwhile, our president is doing what tonight? He's giving a giant speech about the humanitarian intervention in Libya, somewhere far away. I mean, George, when are we going to have a humanitarian intervention here in the United States?
Well, Ron Paul's talked about this with the crisis that we're having in the American economy. We need to recall all troops across the world, and we need to bring all that income that we're spending overseas directly to the American people. I think we need to, right now there's a polarization happening in America. It's the left versus the right, it's the GOP versus the Democrats. I think we all need to come together and realize we have a serious problem, and we need to start implementing policies that are pro-American people.
Well, unfortunately, I think it remains to be seen whether anyone's listening. But I do want to ask very, very briefly. I mean, do you actually see anything genuinely changing in the system? What would it take for Obama to listen, for the folks here in Washington to actually hear these people's cries?
Obama doesn't care. senators and elected representatives don't care. They're funded by major corporations. They're funded by lobbyists. All they care about is the money that goes into their bank account. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. Elections can be bought and sold. They don't care. They don't care if your child is starving. All they care about is money in their bank account and getting elected. Obama is totally out of touch with reality. He is entirely out of touch with reality.
Out of touch, but I guess he'll be bestowing some of that reality on us tonight at 7:30. Thank you so much, George Heminger, founder of Survive and Thrive TV.